Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. Today we will continue with the black and white thumbnail sketches that we did, and so we're gonna refine those sketches and make them nice, look a little bit nicer, make them a little bit more complete, and yeah, we'll try to work for, let's say, about an hour or so on these, and after that we will wow, it's hard to talk. After that we will try to make a few new sketches, so we keep generating ideas for later projects. So yeah, we did these last week. They're kind of rough, but I quite like it. And of course black and white, so we really have to focus on the values on these. I think it's a good way to practice that. See if we can do that, because that's what this channel is all about. Is about practicing and learning. It's called learning how to paint, right? So well, we will we'll try to do more stuff than just paint in the future. Well, we are already doing some more stuff. Just painting. We did a bit of creative gaming content. Let's call it that. Didn't get watched as much as the painting content, but the stream was also a little bit shorter, and I didn't have any way to sort of promote it, so I have to keep that into take that into account as well. So not sure how that is compared to the painting content in terms of how people like it, how popular it is. So yeah, we're gonna have to try that in the near future again, and just to see if it works or not. And if you think you're gonna like that, then let me know. If you think if you don't want to see that, let me know as well, because then we might not do it again. But if enough people like it, we'll definitely continue with it, because we want to grow this channel in sort of in a direction where we where it is a creative channel, not just painting, but all sorts of creative stuff. So hopefully we can grow into that direction, slowly but surely. Of course, the channel is small and relatively young, so we have the flexibility, I think, to go different directions with it, or sort of explore multiple directions. As long as we have time. This is sort of a hobby project, so and I want to sort of approach it as such. I want to keep doing it, but I have other stuff as well. But and depending on how well I can combine it, I will continue with it. Let's sort of make it a passion project. And I think it's really important to see to start it that way. If it is your passion, you can keep doing it. If you do it for the views or the subscribers, then it might be difficult to get started, or you should pick another approach than I do. The way I do things is not ideal for channel growth, I think. I think I have some understanding on how to improve that, but I don't necessarily want to spend sort of all my energy on this. I like it, and I want to keep doing it, but it's, as I said, it's more like a passion project, a hobby, which I really like. And for me, it's also a way to sort of keep keep busy with painting. Because if I have to do it on my own, I might stop doing it. It's a good way to sort of force myself out of my comfort zone by trying. We have to keep up with come up with new things, so you're gonna have to keep yeah, keep doing new things, so you're gonna automatically sort of be more out of your comfort zone. If you're doing it for yourself, you can sort of let's say you like to paint flowers or something, and I think there's a lot of variation within painting or drawing flowers. Don't get me wrong, I think you could probably make an entire YouTube channel out of that. There are a lot of niche things on YouTube. I think it's really good to have a niche thing. I think that's probably one of the best ways to get successful at YouTube. Is find a niche and be very active within that niche. And but I like to sort of think fresh and new and try to come up with new ideas. So I have to constantly challenge myself, or I have to work on new paintings and new subjects for my paintings. I mean, I can keep painting jungles over and over again, but if every painting is sort of the same as the last one, it's not you're gonna. I don't think people will enjoy it as much as I'd like them to enjoy it. So yeah, we're gonna have to sort of figure out what this is in the middle here. I'm thinking some sort of rivery thing. But we're gonna have to come up with some ways to make it look like an actual river. So we're gonna try to sort of make these readable for all sorts of people, so you can sort of see that this is a alien city of some sort, or a futuristic city that's also sort of sci-fi. That's sort of the goal here. I'm not gonna go into incredible detail here because we want to do all of these. We want to do all four of them. So we're gonna have to be a little bit. We don't have the time sort of to go into incredible detail. Of course, we're gonna try to do it as good as possible. I think I want to sort of make this a little bit clear this a little up. I'm gonna have to figure out ways to sort of add detail into here. It's probably a little bit too dark. Let's go with this. Probably better. Go. And maybe there are sort of there are banners sort of set across this of next to the river. Let's do that on a new layer so we can actually duplicate that easily. So what if we have a nice banner here? I don't know what layers are selected. But I old. It's duplicated. Probably a little bit too small. Something like that. And then I'm gonna have to do something like this. And let's see. The perspective isn't right. So we're gonna have to fix that first. Gonna be like this. It, no problem. I kind of wanna do something like this, and then maybe, yeah. Now let's sort of connect them up. And oh, I've selected a few pixels. Is ideal. Let's try to sort of at 90% opacity. That should be enough, right? Try to sort of add some detail to it, and maybe some scratches. Or each of these each of these banners should look slightly different, I think. Sort of banners for different districts, different countries, different whatever. So we have different symbols on them. They're all sort of the same white background, and then the only difference is sort of the way the lines flow on that. That's sort of, maybe there's an office of an alliance or something like NATO. When yeah, and you can make up these stories so that you make your world feel a bit more real. And maybe they all sort of have this stand here? I don't know. They showed us should be a way how this sort of kept upright. Maybe some clamps. Maybe there's a little, there's a big platform here for one of those aerial vehicles, like we have here. We probably should add a few in just here, but in the other painting as well. Oops. Wrong button. Time is it? How long have I been working? 17 minutes. So preferably I should be working for about 15 minutes on each of these. But I think I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna. I don't think that's sort of possible. But we'll see. Maybe we'll scratch the new ID generation. However, I think that's also always a nice sort of little adventure, because now we can sort of do some relaxing stuff and get our brain ready for the more difficult stuff. The ID generation is usually can be a little bit more difficult. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. I think I'm gonna get rid of this thing. So yeah, I really like this this sort of lamp type thingy. I kind of want to have one over here as well. So we're gonna use the stuff from the photograph and combine it together with the stuff that is already there. So this is the door. I think I want to go and work for a couple of live streams on this one. So I think I'm gonna work an hour today, and don't know if I will stream this week. If I will stream this week, it's probably gonna be tomorrow, and then I may work on this for a while longer. See if we can make it any good. I think I'm gonna try to sort of the road here. Have to design on this thing here. This. Something like that. I don't know. We have this stuff here to refine. I think the stuff for this one is all on a new layer, so let's see if I'm a little bit pleased with what I'm right now. So, and make it smaller. Okay. Yeah, it's getting somewhere. Let's continue. There's a lot of detail going on in the top two, which we don't really have for this one. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to add detail to this one. Not sure how I'm gonna do that. Of course, we have the look outside the window, but that's not really too interesting because that's something that we already see top two images. So that's not really detail that we're looking for. Not sure how I want to proceed with that one. Same goes for the bar. I'm a little bit scared to continue to work on the bar. So we're gonna work on this one. I feel the most I like this one sort of the most. Maybe because we worked on it the most. Maybe I should just put on the man pants and rave and go work on that bar. I think the interior is a bit of a lost cause because I haven't really picked a nice what's it called? A nice subject matter for that one. Just looking out the window and outside the window is where interesting stuff actually happens. So that's a shame. Let's see. We want to have a roof here. Maybe we to have sort of tunnel connecting up to that building there. No, I don't think so. Hey, of this all, have I have enough history states? Nope. Probably should have done it on a separate layer. Undo is usually enough, but if you quite a bit, you run out of history states because the computer only saves an X amount of history. Otherwise, your memory will overflow. I think it with the current systems can have should be able to have more history states. Maybe in Photoshop, the Creative Cloud version, you can have more. This is CS4, so this is used to very old hardware. I mean, this version is more than 10 years old. So if you compare the hardware from 10 years ago to the hardware we have today, well, my hardware isn't exactly up to still quite. It can handle itself. It's 3 years old now. Well, it depends, of course, what kind of specs you put in, but specs are quite decent. I don't know where it sort of saves the history. If it saves it in RAM, I assume it's in the RAM. Or cache of your processor. I think it's the RAM. It has to be the RAM, right? So 16 gigs of RAM, that should be. I don't know. Or does it just save it somewhere on the hard drive? That's also a possibility. It has a. Excuse me. It creates a cache file somewhere on your hard drive. So, and well, it creates a lot of temporary files. I think I have a couple of gigabytes of Photoshop files in my app data, which you should clean out every now and again. You can how that works, but it's a good way to get some hard drive space back. Well, if you have a hard drive, of course. I don't actually have a hard drive, but storage, it's an SSD. It's easy to sort of call it a hard drive. I think that's sort of the term we're all used to. But you should probably say storage. But yeah, this with this hardware, I think. So I don't know if this Photoshop version is actually really is sort of optimized. I don't think it's really optimized to use, for instance, to use more than one processing core. Maybe it is. I think it probably uses two, at least two. Yeah, I've 4 cores and 8 threads. So. Now I think about it, that's actually compared to sort of the new hardware that has come out the last year or two. It's when I bought this processor i7 6700K, it was top of the line. Yeah, you had the Xenon processors, Xeon, which were for 3D modeling and workstation grade processors. But now, if you see, the Ryzen processors have top consumer sort of grade. Ryzen has like 8 cores and 16 threads. So that's some big upgrades there. For multi-core workloads, of course. I think that the single core performance is also a lot. It's quite a bit higher than we currently have, but I cannot really spend $400 on an upgrade, because I wouldn't only have to upgrade my processor, but I'd have to go with a new motherboard. And new RAM probably as well, because the Ryzen processors really profit from high frequency RAM. I think I have 2400 megahertz RAM, which again was, when I bought it, was quite. It was not totally top of the line, but it was up there. But these developments are going so quick, especially now that AMD sort of picked up the pace again, and actually makes really good stuff now. When I bought this PC, it was sort of a no-brainer. Just go with Intel, because in terms of performance, they were far superior. But now, with all the meltdown and all those problems with the processors, I doubt if it was the good choice. I should have waited a year and just Should have gone for a Ryzen processor. But yeah, that's in hindsight. It's easy to see what you should have done, should have, would have, things like that. But yeah, if I were to build a new PC now, I'd, I'd go with a Ryzen processor at this point. Still pick a green team graphics card, but processors I'd go for the red team. Well, I think I would pick a team card. I'm not sure if I would pick an Nvidia. They're kind of priced, although now they have a really broad lineup. When I bought this, my current graphics card, it's a 1070, like 1050, 1060, 1070, 1080, 1080 Ti, and then Titan Pascal, which was like 1200 euros. I'm rambling about PCs. I don't know why, but just like to ramble about stuff. I should create a podcast. That's definitely something I'd like to do. Probably. Oh, I was thinking about it. If I'm gonna make a podcast, it's probably gonna be in Dutch. So that's a shame. Although I could do it in English, but I think I'd be better off doing it in Dutch. Because it's, especially with difficult subjects, it's easier to communicate, I think, in your mother tongue than foreign language. Though my English is pretty decent, I think. But yeah, excuse me. As you probably know, I just like to ramble. Just really like it. It's one of my hobbies. It's just it's fun to think about stuff. That's what I do. That's what I like. That's what I do best. Not saying that if what I think about stuff always makes sense, but it's a different story. And all that because we were wondering if we could increase the amount of history stays. Photoshop CS4. I think I'm at maximum. I think I checked the settings a few times to actually see if I can do more, but I think I can't. Should have brought some water. I poured some water for myself, but I left it at another table, so I'm gonna quickly grab it if I can reach it. There we go, some water. So yeah, this is sort of what I really like. Just draw a little bit, ramble a little bit, stuff like that. So if I can make this my job, it would be lovely. So if you have any ideas on how to make my job out of this, well, I have some plans. I'm working on it. Don't worry. It's also an annoying habit. No, it's not necessarily an annoying habit, but I think it's a good habit. But I have this habit to sort of constantly press S to save the file. I'm probably putting an unnecessary amount of load on my PC. On the other hand, saving is really fast. The perks of having an SSD. Although this file isn't that big, I think it's the file size. I don't know. I could probably browse to it. I wonder because I keep. Well, I think I kept all of it, all my paintings stuff, relatively small compared to recordings and stuff. It's currently have 15 gigabytes of paint, but it's all. Well, most of it is in PSD, so yeah, this file is 14.6 megabytes, which for a file this size, I don't know what, 4,000 pixels. Oh, it's quite big actually. Just a black and white file. I think the flag thingies are a little bit too bright compared to the rest, maybe. Yeah, I'm really struggling to figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I think I could go with the bar. I think the bar has potential. Try to struggle with that a little bit. But the rest of the interior, not really. I have no clue what to do whatsoever. That I'm gonna try to sort of design these alien guys. I'm really bad with characters. That's definitely something I want to go and do in the near future, or maybe even today. Maybe we're gonna try to do some character design soon after this. Well, we're not gonna finish with this today because I think I can still work for a couple of hours. This one, if I can find the concentration and if I'm not struggling to keep going. I don't want to do something else, which could be the case. But yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to sort of do some sort of character design. Of course, we are sort of doing it right here, right now. But this one is tilted backwards quite a bit, so we need some counter in here. Maybe it has 4 legs rather than it's not bipedal. What is the term for legs? Quadrupedal? I don't know. Let's try to redo this. Go, so let's get rid of that. Alright, let's see. Barkeeper. Probably not very practical to have 4 legs as a barkeeper. Well, for the balance, it's great, of course, but think about all the space that you're taking up. You're probably best off with just one, with a little wheel. Single wheel with a stick on top of it, and then top of that you're gonna have your serving plate with all the drinks and stuff. That's probably the easiest way to maneuver through a crowded space like a bar or a restaurant, because you're taking up less space. That's all sort of stuff to think about. Although it's not really very practical. I mean, it doesn't have to be practical all the time. Um, but it's just a sort of a thought that occurred to me when I started with this one, with this guy. But, I don't know if if that's too smart to work in a bar with a condition like that. Well, condition, just the way he looks. So it's not a really dynamic character, but right. Maybe it has eyes in his back of his head as well. Oh. Eyes. That's probably quite practical to have. So big. So it's quite hard to sort of figure out how these guys sort of act and work because usually I'm going to take a few sips of water because my throat is a little bit dry. Excuse me. It's a little bit hard to figure out how these guys actually sort of work, how the limbs work, because I'm both designing the guys and girls or whatever they are, the creatures, and I'm gonna also have to pose them. So it's a little bit difficult to sort of do that. With this one, it's not that hard. I mean, he's just standing here. He's walking here or whatever. It's not too hard, but this one is maybe not too hard. Oh, I'm dropping frames. Wow. All right. Long time ago since I had that. But the other ones are actually quite challenging because it's yeah. I'm having to do two things at once. Designing and posing or whatever it's called. And all that without really any experience in character design, so this might end up looking horrible. We'll see. Just gonna go easy and easy and just bit by bit build this up. And I think that's important when painting. Just take it easy, bit by bit. Don't go too fast, which is definitely a problem that I have. I tend to go a lot faster than I should, and then I sort of skip over bits. I take my time. I think I can sort of pull this off. Maybe it's not gonna be a really cool painting, but I think it's a really good practice because it's sort of my first painting that I do with actual characters in it, and I really want to start doing that more. And if I keep sort of postponing that, it's never gonna work out. I'm dropping frames again. Well, at least YouTube says that we have problems. Yes, isn't noticing any problems at the moment, although I have dropped some frames. Totally. Like 10-11 seconds worth of frames. That's actually quite a lot. Think about it. But hopefully everything is okay now. Again. Gonna have to sort of figure out how this all works. Sort of this, the top end of the bar, how it is connected up to the. This window is gonna be a tricky one. Well, maybe not as tricky as I just thought. Could just make it sort of a triangle. It's probably fine. Some decoration. I don't want to keep all sort of geometrical forms here, like triangles and octagons, hexagons, all that stuff. I'm gonna keep those. Sort of the theme of this thing that the city has going for it. So probably something that we should keep. But these guys are quite shiny. Maybe this city has a sort of a shoulders, sort of insect-like dudes. Well, I'm currently not streaming at all, so I think my internet just died. Yeah, my internet has decided to sort of give up on me. I could continue, but I think the experience is gonna be less than ideal. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to stop the stream here. Which is rather unfortunate, but if this continues, yes, it is still continuing. It's just not gonna work out. So that's rather unfortunate. I'm gonna see where the problem lies, and hopefully we can fix it. Anyway, if you still can see this, thanks for watching, and I hope